Hey guys, welcome back. So today I have a review video on some Hard Candy Cosmetics products that I purchased from Walmart recently. I've been testing these out for about a week and a half to 2 weeks, and these are all new products in the Hard Candy line. So when I saw these, I was super excited to purchase them to review for you guys. So the first palette I want to talk about is the Hard Candy Eyeshadow Palette. This is the Look Pro Matte Eyeshadow Pro Palette. You get 15 matte eyeshadows in here and 2 brushes that are double-ended. This retails for $10 and it has 19.5 grams. So the packaging is actually pretty nice on this. A little bit heavy. I like that you have the transparent top. So it does have a mirror, which is usable. It's nice and long enough where you can actually see both eyes at once to do your eyeshadow, but you can't really see your whole face at once because it is small, but it works for your eyes, and this is an eyeshadow palette. So you just get a very nice variety of shades in here. You get nice light shades, medium tone shades, and deeper shades. You get some neutrals, you get some pops of color, you get warm tones, cool tones, and neutrals. So I just think the variety of shadows in here was really pretty. That's why I purchased it, and they looked very promising. When I purchased this, I was like, this looks like it's gonna be good. So I just wanted to give you a little comparison in size to my Visart or Visart palette. This one is the Neutral Matte 01. So you can see the Hard Candy palette is much bigger. I love my Visart palette, this one specifically. It has all matte shades as well, and they're very soft, very blendable. But as you can see, my palette looks super dirty, because I feel like it does have some kick up for sure. But I really love that palette. I just wanted to give you a little comparison. Back of the palette says, the Hard Candy Pro Palette is our best palette yet. This palette contains 15 matte eyeshadow shades and 4 professional eyeshadow brushes. Everything you need to create makeup artist quality looks for any occasion. These shades have been curated to include the perfect range of blending, crease, accent, and lid colors. Create any look you desire, from simple to dramatic or neutral to bold. So I definitely agree with it that it has like the perfect range of shades for blending, crease, accent, and lid shades, and you can definitely create simple or dramatic bold looks with this. So I do agree with those claims. They say that these are professional makeup brushes. I would not say they're professional makeup brushes by any means. They are usable, but I definitely prefer my makeup brushes over these. But if you don't have makeup brushes, you don't have a lot of makeup brushes, you're on a budget, you are in a bind, like maybe you took this palette with you somewhere and you didn't bring your brushes, these could work. I have used them. They are double-ended. So you get a flat shader on this brush here. This one has like a pencil type brush. So this one here is good for packing on color on the lid. This one's good for maybe like popping a color on the inner tear duct, or smudging some color on the lower lash line. And then the other sides of these have like a little bit more of a fluffy type paddle brush, which is good to blend the upper edge of my shadow, which that's what I've used it for, or maybe apply your brow bone highlight. You could also pack shadow on the lid with that. And then on this brush here, you get this one that's a little bit more fluffy. Whoa. And then this one here is a little bit more fluffy. I like this one to deepen up the outer crease. It just works really well for that because it's small but a little bit fluffy, and I just use that to use a dark shade in that area, and it works really well. So they are usable, just not my favorite, and I don't think they're professional quality brushes like they claim. So when I first got this, I swatched it. I thought, oh, you know, they feel really soft. It seems promising. Then I started to swatch them on my arm so that I could take pictures for Instagram, and I was like, oh no, this is not going to be a good palette at all. The swatches were very patchy and I had to build them up. So let me just show you. Like, they just look super patchy swatched with my fingers and applied like to my skin, you can see. But some of them actually perform nicely on the eyes, and sometimes that's the case with eyeshadows. Sometimes they don't swatch well and they perform nicely on the eyes, or vice versa. So you can't always go by the swatches, is what I'm trying to say. All right, so let's get into the shades here. So you get a nice row of light shades. This was the most disappointing row in the palette, along with this blue here. I felt like all the lighter shades were not good lid color shades. And I was hoping that I could apply them onto the lid and they would give a nice pop, a nice bright pop to the lid. But unfortunately, I just feel like they lack in pigmentation. There really isn't much pigmentation to them when you put them on the lid. I think they work okay as like a brow bone highlight because, like for me personally, I don't want to necessarily have like a really bright, vibrant shadow in my brow bone. I kind of just want to dust a light shade there. And so these work fine for that. But as far as the lid, they really just don't wow me. They don't have enough of a pop. They don't have much to them. I like packed them on over and over and over, and I just felt like the intensity and brightness just wasn't there. So I felt like those were the worst shadows in the palette, unfortunately. And there are so many of them, and they have all a different undertone. Like this one is a little bit purple, neutral, yellow, peach, and pink. And then this blue one as well was the same situation. It just lacked in pigmentation when I tried to put it all over the lid. I've used all of these shadows on my eyes, by the way. I just wanted to let you guys know that. I've used every single shadow on my eyeball several times, and the light shades just didn't do it. The second row here, you have these nice 4 medium tone shades. They're great for transition crease colors. I absolutely love those 4. They're probably my favorite in the palette. So you get a brown, a little bit more neutral. This one's more warm toned. This one is more cool toned. And then this one's a little bit more purpley toned, which I love. So I thought those performed in the crease really, really nicely. And the pigmentation was really nice. I didn't have to like build them up. They were just instantly pigmented and they blended nice, and I just didn't have any trouble with those. So those were good. And then as far as the last row goes, I think you get some nice shades. You get a gray, a deepened red, you get a plum, you get like a blackened brown, and another like purpley shade. So those are all nice to kind of deepen up any looks, use as eyeliners, or just get some definition with your looks. So that row, when I swatched those, they didn't look very good as well, but they actually performed nicely in my crease and outer corner. I have not used any of these all over the lid as far as the medium toned and darker shades, but they perform nicely in the crease. So this red one, for instance, was probably the one that swatched the worst and most patchy, and I was hoping that it would perform better on the eyes, and it actually did. I actually have that one on today. So I have like this warmer toned brown, this reddish one, and this this one here, this purpley one. I have those all in my crease today, and I thought that they performed nicely. So I like the medium tone to deeper shades. They might not swatch good if you do get this palette, but I think they perform nicely on the eyes. The duds were all the lighter shades as far as using them as lid colors. And I feel like they're pretty, you know, they're packed in here a little bit hard. They are soft when you touch them. They almost feel like they have a little like dimethicone or something in them, just a little bit. Not like the Makeup Forever ones, but they kind of feel a little bit like that to me. They don't have a lot of kick up, so that's a good thing. And they don't have a lot of fallout, so I didn't have any trouble with kick up or fallout. As far as lasting power goes, I thought they lasted on my eyes pretty well, but I don't generally have any issues with lasting power with eyeshadows. It's very rare for me too, just because my eyelids are more normal to dry. Sometimes they're really dry. So I don't have oily lids. I can't say, you know, how they perform on an oily lid, but if you use a good primer, I would imagine they work just fine. All right, so the next item that I picked up is this. This is the Glamoflage Mix and Drops in Radiant. They have one in Radiant, one in Bronze, one in Matte. I only saw the Bronze and the Radiant one at my local store. I think this was around either $6 or $8. So these are supposed to be kind of similar to the custom cover or cover effects. What are they called? Hold on. So these are supposed to be, I think, similar to the Cover FX custom enhancer drops. The Cover FX ones are pricey, but these blow my mind. These are way better. So this was a complete fail. So it looks really pretty, but this is actually a plastic wrap around the bottle. The bottle is glass, but this is a plastic wrapper. So this is actually not what the product looks like. You wish it did, but it really doesn't. And it looks pretty at the bottom. But honestly, no matter how much I shake this, it's just, it has a lot of separation and it feels very oily. So if there is oil in here, it's not mixing well with the pigment, and it just does not work well. So this is meant to be mixed in with a foundation or moisturizer to give the skin a radiant glow. This is a universal shade. So the universal shade is flattering on all skin tones, mixes well into any liquid or cream formula, and can be used as intense or subtle as you desire. So it just says to add like 2 to 3 drops to your moisturizer or foundation and blend. No matter how much I mix this, it has a lot of separation. Do you guys see that? It looks disgusting. It's very chunky. The pigment is not blending with whatever other ingredients are in here, which I feel like it has oil in it. Like, look at this. Yeah, no. Look. You see how chunky that looks? Like, ew, what the heck? So this is a total fail. I do not like this product. It feels extremely oily and greasy. It has a very, very liquidy consistency. Let me just show you. But this, see, this is just most of like the oil or whatever it is that's in there. It's very, very runny. When you blend it out onto the skin, you do start to see the sheen that it has, which is actually pretty, but it feels very, very greasy. Very greasy. I tried mixing this in with my foundation. I felt like it didn't mix well with the foundation. I don't know, I just didn't want to mesh together. And I would say that it did give a subtle sheen to my foundation into my face. So it was nice because it wasn't overdone, but the formula of this is awful. It's awful, you guys. I would not recommend this to you guys at all. If you want one, get the custom cover, or get the custom enhancer drops from Cover FX. I know they're much more expensive, but they're totally worth the price. I mean, this is cheap, but it's no good. It's not good at all. So I've also tried it to use as a highlighter on my face. Didn't work too well for that. I just felt like it's too greasy. It's too oily. It's just the consistency of it is terrible. So this is going back. I don't want it. It's an awful product. All right, so another product is the Sheer Envy Coconut Water Cooling Primer Stick. And it says, this water-based primer stick instantly cools your skin as it preps your face for flawless makeup application. This cool primer is packed with ingredients that leave skin looking silky, even-toned, and pore perfected while hydrating and smoothing the skin. Glide primer stick directly onto the face and blend before makeup application. Again, I think this was maybe around $8 or so. Hard candy, you have disappointed me. All right, so this is what the packaging looks like. It is pretty. I like the colors of it, and it does not really have a scent. I would think that it would smell like coconut, but it really doesn't. Maybe it has a subtle scent. It's very subtle. I don't know. I can't really smell too much. Anyway, this is what the product looks like. Twist up. I'm going to show you how much is in there. So that's what it looks like. And I've used this a lot and I don't like it that much. Honestly, I think I'm going to return this as well. So I like to put a thin layer of this on my face and then blend it out with my fingers. I feel like this did not work well under liquid foundation when I applied the foundation with a brush. I don't know, it just made it look cakey and streaky, and it just didn't blend in the skin nicely. So I actually preferred to apply my foundation over this primer with a beauty blender, a damp beauty blender. I just thought that it worked the product into the skin better over this primer that way. So do I think that it minimized my pores? Because it does claim to minimize pores, smooths redness, hydrates skin. Did it minimize my pores? Not really. Did it smooth? Did it soothe? Oh, it says soothes. I thought it said smooths. Soothes redness. I have a lot of discoloration and redness in my skin, and I do not feel like it soothed the redness at all. And it says it hydrates skin. I do feel like it's hydrating when you first apply it onto the face. It has like a gel type consistency, which feels very cooling and hydrating when you put it on. As far as like prolonged hydration, I don't see that. I don't see that. I just feel like it's initially hydrating. But overall, I'm just not really loving how this performs under my foundation with the brush. I also didn't think it minimized my pores, soothed the redness, or just did much for my skin, period. So yeah, this was not good. And then at the same time, I feel like it made me break out because I had little like bumps all over my face after using this for several days. So this I don't like. So the next two products are the Color Correct Cushion Wonders. So I have two of them. I did throw the packaging away for the peachy one, so I picked up the peach and the lavender. Threw away the packaging because I tried to film this video previously, edited the whole video, and then I was like, you know what, I don't like it. I feel like I missed several points on certain items, so here I am refilming. So I think again this was about $8. I do like the peach one. I think the formula on these is really, really nice. But first let me tell you about the packaging, because the packaging is pretty cool. So it comes in a squeeze tube, and then it has this lock. So you can turn this to open or lock it, which I think is so genius. That way if you lock it, you can't squeeze any more product out or it won't seep out on its own. The applicator on here is a cushion, and it is very, very, very soft. So I love the applicator and the packaging on this. So this is a peachy color, but it's not too deep, which I love. And it's just really, really soft. So you can dot this on your face or kind of blend it in with this. I personally didn't use it to blend it. I just kind of swiped it on, and then I went in with a brush or a beauty blender to blend it out. But you could use this because it is very, very soft. So I think the formula on this is super nice. It has like a gel formula. It's very, very easy to blend. The peach one I used under my eyes. I don't have like huge dark circles. I feel like I've gotten maybe a little bit here. Just minor ones from being a mom. When you're a mom, you just don't sleep like you used to. So I think it did help eliminate the very minimal dark circles that I have. But if you have like super dark circles, I don't know if this particular color would be dark enough because it's not that dark. It's peachy, but not too orangey. So I don't have a lot of experience with color correcting, period. Like sometimes it's unnecessary, honestly. So for me, I thought this one was nice. Skin Imperfection Neutralizer. I threw the packaging on this one away. It says a lightweight gel cream formula. So it does have a nice lightweight gel cream formula. It's very easy to blend. I do love that. This peach one is supposed to brighten dark circles and spots, and blurs and neutralizes any skin concern. So I do like the peach one. I do apply it under my eyes. I think it does help brighten under my eyes a little bit and kind of eliminate those little dark circles that I have. So for me, the packaging and the product on this one is good. As far as the lavender one, I guess I was hoping this was pink, because the pink ones tend to brighten under the eye, which I love. They didn't have a pink one, they had a green one and a yellow one. So I picked up the purple one, lavender one. It's just too lavender. I feel like it really is just too purple when I put it on. I tried it under my eyes. This one I think is supposed to eliminate shallowness or something like that. I think that's what the packaging had said. But again, I love the packaging on this one. It does get a little messy, the cap does, because the sponge tip's kind of big, so it does get product on the cap, which is kind of annoying, but other than that, it's all right. So this is what the lavender one looks like. Again, nice creamy formula, easy to blend, but it's just too purple. I've tried both of these under the eyes, and I just prefer the peach one over the purple one. So the next item is another highlighter. This one is a highlighting powder. This is the iridescent highlighter. It is the Prismatic highlighter is what it's called. So this is what the packaging looks like. It's very pretty. You can see the holographicness on it. It says, swirl a powder brush over the pan and then apply using a soft sweeping motion wherever you want an iridescent prismatic glow. This is awful. First of all, it retails for $6. It's 12 grams of product, so you do get a lot of product in here, but this is probably the worst product, along with the other highlighter in this entire collection of things that I purchased. It is extremely, let me zoom in. Let me just show you how powdery it is. Do you see that? Like, it just is straight powder. So first off, it's super powdery, and then at the same time, it doesn't really have a base color. It just is like a translucent powder with like a bunch of shimmer particles. So I personally think this is terrible. It's just very dry, very powdery, and it has a bunch of very sparkly, microfine shimmer particles, and those, you can see they're very iridescent and like holographic looking. but it just didn't apply on the skin nicely. It didn't give a nice sheen. It didn't sit on the skin well because it is so powdery and chalky looking. I don't have it on today. I did try using it wet, and when I did use it wet, you could see more of the sheen that it would give, but when you use it dry, it's terrible. Even wet, I didn't like it. So this product was a total dud. Don't recommend it at all. This one is going back to the store. I have two more items. This is the Hard Candy Fast and Fabulous Translucent Loose Powder. So this wasn't new. I don't think this is new. It's been out, I think, for a little while. But they did have a new one. It was like a banana loose setting powder, but it was very, very yellow, and that just would not work on my complexion. So I decided to give this one a try. It says the weightless translucent powder is suitable for all skin tones and creates a soft matte finish. Extended makeup wear, mattify your skin, and optimize light reflection all at once. Apply powder all over makeup to set your look and control oil. It has 18 grams of product. It does have silica in it, which generally I believe gives flashback in photography, but the average person doesn't really take photos every day. So I think it would be okay for like the average person on a day-to-day basis. So it just has like a traditional sifter jar. It is very finely milled. I would say it is definitely very matte. I used it to set my under eye concealer, and I think it did blur and make the skin look nice and smooth, and it did leave my under eyes very matte throughout the day. So I think if you had oily skin, this would probably be a good product for you. When I tried to use it all over my face, I felt like, especially on my nose, that it looked dry, like it just kind of emphasized dryness. So if you have dry skin, I don't know that I would recommend this. I think it would be better suited for people with oily skin. I do think it was nice under the eyes to kind of help blur and soften the look, but it is not my favorite setting powder by any means. I would prefer one that's not quite as matte, one that's a little bit more normal to dry skin, that's gonna maybe hydrate or just not emphasize dryness. But this one is pretty matte, and you will see in the demo that I insert, I applied the peachy color corrector under my eyes, and then I actually went in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, but I have the one in Fair, which is extremely light. I feel like it's too light for me. So I put that on, which I didn't show in the demo, but when I put this powder over that, I just felt like it looked really, really white. So just keep that in mind. But overall, I think this is a nice product. I just think it would be better for people with maybe oily skin. All right, so the last item that I picked up is this, and I already threw away the packaging, but I will insert a picture of it. It is the Wet Ever Bold Hold Lip Lacquer. This is what I have on my lips today. I got the shade in Genius. It comes in a tin. The tin has a little mirror inside, but the mirror is terrible. It's like distorted. It distorts your body, kind of like when you go to the state fair, and they have like those clown mirrors that just make your body look distorted. That's what it does. So I just throw the packaging away anyway. It's cute, but it's just clutter, and I want to declutter. So the packaging on this itself is nice. It's very similar to the metallic ones they have. I did review those. I will link them below. This one has drip marks down it, which I think is pretty cool. These remind me like of the Hourglass. I think they're like lip glosses. It's very similar to that. So in here you get 6.3 grams of product, and I believe these were $6. So I have it on today. It is very glossy. Whenever you hear the word lacquer, it's usually very glossy. Let me show you. Now, being that it's so glossy, I feel like it makes the lips look plump, but it also kind of settles down here, or bleeds, I should say. So it does bleed a little bit around the lips and on the corners here. And then I also noticed that it was getting on my teeth a little bit when I first applied it, so try not to apply too much. If you do, you might have to do this to kind of get the excess off on your finger. Overall, I like it. It's very smooth, feels nice. It has bold color, very glossy finish. I don't know, I do like this. I think it's nice. I almost picked up two. This one and then one other one that was more of the neutrally shade. So overall, I do like this. And I would throw it in my purse and kind of just put it on now and again. I do like it. So anyway, I hope this video helped you guys. You know, if you were interested in any of these products, if you guys have tried these, let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for watching, as you always do. I love you guys. Have a great day.